Hello, Decentraland community. I am Agustin Mendez, and I've been around the community since 2018. I led the Decentraland engineering team from late 2020 to late 2022, and today I will present you the protocol squad. We are yours truly, Mendus, Nikolai, Robert, and Santi, all engineers pursuing the same goal. And what do? We document the protocol. Oh, wait, I can make this bigger. My face is not that important. We document the protocol for explorers. Because defining the full scope of what Decentraland is as a whole is too complex. It requires a lot of writing, and we do things like specifying what the Genesis city is. We'll say that term every now and then, and it may be the set of land tokens of the land contract used to validate ownership of entities for the decentralized deployment and replication protocol using digital signatures to deploy it to the Catalyst server to be consumed by explorers, which load scenes from specialized endpoints of the Catalyst server, which by themselves the scenes are in a special format and must run using runtime rules to render the experiences in the explorers. You get the idea about what we do. Why? This is the architecture of the current Explorer by the Foundation. This is outdated, by the way. It is incomplete or not documented, and as I said, outdated. We collaborate with the Decentraland Foundation to formalize the missing parts of the protocol. And why? If we want the community to own the project, it should be possible to contribute to it. It must be properly documented, and this is based on data. So very, very few, counted with a couple hands, the Explorer received any external contribution that is not from the core contributors, and that is in part due to its complexity. It is hard to get how it works. So how we do it, the documentation. We are creating 3 world explorers, 3 brand new explorers like play.decentraland.org. In great part, and this is good news, from the documentation itself. So it is not that there is nothing documented. There are some things. We are creating these explorers from using 3 different technologies: Bevy in Rust, Babylon.js, and Unity in C#. I'm going to explain a little bit about them. Bevy, it is open source, an open source project, and that is spiritually aligned with Decentraland. It uses Rust, of course, which is a language of the future. We'll hear that, but it is safe, fast, and reliable language. Internally, Bevy already uses an ECS, which is very aligned with the architecture of Decentraland and what it already has. And based on our decision framework, this is our long-term shot, meaning that it is not ready for production yet. I don't know any game that is in production using Bevy. Please let me know if you know. Then we have Babylon.js, which is also open source, aligned with the spirit of the project. Since it is JavaScript, it is easy to hack and to iterate. And this is meant to be an educational implementation. It will be slow, but it will be correct. It will have a lot of tests and will be used as reference when we want to make a change in the protocol, because we can hack and iterate rapidly. But since it is JavaScript, it is really hard to optimize. It is very difficult to get it right with a decent performance. Then last but not least, we have Unity in C#, which we already know it is production ready and definitely battle tested. It is meant to replace the current Explorer with a stable and easy to contribute code base, recalling my previous comment. But Unity itself is closed source, and that is not very aligned with the project. So what is the plan of the protocol squad? By the way, there is an always up-to-date version of this plan in the Decentraland/protocol squad repository. You can see here the status of each implementation, and if we want more detail about what is going on in each implementation, we have a couple tables that show up the progress and the plan. Going back to the presentation, the stage 1 is to get the basic functions of the SDK 7 working. We are here, and we are in a very good shape. I'm going to show you a video in a couple seconds. Then we want to join a world or a realm in all 3 implementations and see each other. And this says 3, but indeed it is 4, because we are going to include the reference implementation from the foundation here. We need interoperability with what it is in production and what we are building now. This is the scope of the protocol squad as is in the grant. For the future, we want to reach feature parity, that is implementing all the functionality of the SDK 7, and after that is ready, start contributing the protocol with new features. And that is, well, we have a lot of ideas. What is the status of the project? Both Bevy and Babylon are okay, are on track. We are making good progress, and Unity is delayed. This is mainly because finding and hiring a Unity engineer has been very challenging. We started the Unity implementation 2 weeks ago, and we started the Bevy and Babylon implementation a couple months ago. Without further ado, to keep the video short, I'm going to show you a couple things. So this is the Babylon implementation. It is running in a browser. I am using Brave. And this is the Girly Plaza scenes, which are the test scenes used by the SDK team to test the SDK 7. As you can see, there are many features implemented, raycasts, the fish getting catched by the sharks, models with animations, little grass, pointer events, animations of GLTFs, lots of things. Raycasts. And if we are closer to the scenes will run faster than the ones that are far away. This is to prioritize the performance. Well, that was Babylon. I don't actually have the compiled version of Bevy right now, but I can show you a video here. Remember the grass? This one looks way better and with a very decent performance in comparison. Interestingly, I don't know if that's a word. Interestingly, this engine does not have any sort of optimization for assets like the current Explorer has with asset bundles for Unity. This is using the assets as the developers left them in the folder before deployment. And the performance is super good. As you can recall, we did almost the same path in Babylon a couple seconds ago. The animations and the shark. Of course, this is open source. You can download it from Bevy Explorer, the Decentraland repo. I'm going to send the links in the chat. And last but not least, I'm going to open play.decentraland.org to show you the comparison with the real Genesis, Girly Plaza. I hope it loads fast. Okay, so it looks good. Change realm, Girly Plaza. This is one of the things we helped formalizing the realms as URLs in order to test different scenarios with all the explorers. You can recall how these scenes behaved in the other two engines. Where are we? Around here. So we are sharing a lot of code and a lot of semantics with all the explorers. Okay, that was it. I hope you liked it. Bye.